Yeah, I think, back-to-back world championships is hard, but, at this point in my career, it's, I'm 25, I want as many championships as possible to, this is my 5th championships and I was able to only get the gold today. So all these opportunities I need to be successful, but it was a lot of experience together today, and it was so fun to keep that in the UK, and for Edinburgh AC, that's, a massive achievement.
What do you think that says about the development at Meadowbank?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a couple in the new Meadowbank, a couple of sessions now, but obviously I grew up in Edinburgh and did all my sessions there, and I spent the best part of 8 or 9 years working hard on that weirdly bumped track that's now upgraded, and it's now our turn to turn back and make sure that the grassroots are exactly where they were when we had that support, and making sure that we bridge the gap between club running and being a world champion, and I think we can do that.
What was that key to that race?
Pardon?
What was the key to that race?
Calm confidence, committing when the opportunity was there, even if it was a 0.1%, and I felt like that opportunity was there with 200 to go. I thought I probably shouldn't have done it beforehand, and then when it was there I was like, I'm going to take it. So it was there, I went for it, and I wasn't going to look back.
What do you mean you shouldn't have done it beforehand? Like in the race or before the race?
I thought he was going to wait for it. I think, obviously he's a very smart runner, and I watched a lot of film, and I thought maybe Yared or someone was going to have a go at him at 200, because I would say it was the inexperienced runner's move by just trying to replicate what happened last year. It's almost an underthink, but for me, I was like, maybe someone will attack him on the outside with 200 to go, try and push him a little bit too hard, and I'll come with 100 to go. But I felt like he was lagging maybe a slight percentage on that backstretch, and I was like, I felt that in Oslo or in Lausanne. I didn't take that opportunity, and I wasn't going to hold anything back today. So.
Yes. So you thought it was an inexperienced runner's move, but how much did you watch last year's final, and
I think I'm 50% of those views. No, I just, I have so much respect for Jake Whiteman, and he ran such a phenomenal race last year, and I knew I would have to run it slightly different, and I wouldn't say I ran a very perfect race today, but from what I have been planning for the last couple of months, it was close enough to it where I didn't get emotional until the last 150, and at that point it was just throwing everything I had.
If it wasn't perfect, then what was wrong with it?
I haven't watched it back yet, but there was a couple times in there I was like, damn, that was a mistake, and you can't really make many of those. But I need a bit of luck on my side today, and I was able to get it. Obviously he's a very fast runner, but a lot of pressure on him and a big target on his back. So yeah, I'm just proud of the way I executed today.
You've been vowing to do this for the last 2 or 3 years as well. You've had such confidence.
Everyone, isn't I? Yeah.
It's been an uncanny amount of confidence.
Yeah, I think you have to believe, and I was standing on that start line, and if you watch the video back, I kept saying to myself, it's my turn, it's my turn.
Doubted yourself?
Have I ever doubted myself? No, not really. It's been a long time coming, and win or lose, I always know that, maybe I made a mistake, or maybe my build-up hadn't been the best, but I knew I had the basic fundamentals to be a world champion, and it was, I put together the last couple of months, it's been some of the best training I've ever had. I've been on an insane diet that my nutritionist has written that has been unforgiving, and I have had a chef, and I've had mental coaches, and I've had early mornings and late nights, and this is such an accumulation of hard work, and there was no corners cut in this situation, and today I just had to be proud of whatever that came up with, because this is the best I've got.
Where did the speed come from after you were only, I think, 5th in the UK champs at the 800?
Yeah. Those guys were not good at the 800 until I started running it, to be honest. They've been running 146 all year. I've been giving them crap in the camp. But listen, they know how to peak at the right time. All of them got through the heats yesterday. And, for me, I always, I get slated throughout the year being like, oh, Josh isn't fit now, Josh isn't fit. And this is the day I've always wanted to be fit. And it's every year it's the same thing. I show up at championships. I don't miss championship finals. And, I had a bad effort last year and I was 5th. And I was able to come away with gold today, but listen, it was just everything I had today, and the camp is, like I said, has gone so well. I didn't leave any stone unturned.
What makes you think that moving at 200 to go would be an inexperienced move?
Again, it's just like, it's a cookie cutter performance, and you don't, it's like watching the NBA. This is a terrible example. You can't beat a team the same way over and over again. And like Ingebrigtsen's one of the best 1500 meter runners, one of the fastest 1500 meter runners in the world. He's not stupid enough to get beaten the same way twice. And I thought someone would maybe do what I just did and have a tough last 100. And I knew I wouldn't be able to kind of go past them with 200 to go. I just had to stay relaxed as much as possible, and commit to that kind of outside of lane one. But I had quite a bit left in that last 200, and so I was just making sure I stayed calm and gave everything I had that last 100.
Because I know it's been quite a few years since you were in college in Mexico. What kind of influence did Joe Franklin have on you?
I've made very blind jumps in my career, and I think he made a similar one with me. I never had really been to the US before. I never took a visit, and at 17 I kind of flew over to the University of New Mexico as my only offer, and he took care of me, he trained me, and with the help of that staff I became, you know, a 3-time NCAA champion and an NCAA record holder. So I've got to pay a lot of homage to him and you know, all of my coaches in the past, and my coach now, Danny Mackey, and it's just been a smooth transition, and yeah, it feels like a very long time ago that I had to fly over to University of New Mexico with my parents at 17 years old. So I wasn't able to even sign my own release form, so I had to bring my parents with me. So it was just, feels like a lifetime ago, but I've had the support system around me, and I've just made some decisions with my heart throughout my whole career, and it's ended up being a gold medal world champion.
Did you make any changes to your training off the last season?
Yeah, you know, I hit a very good winter. I didn't hit a very good winter last year. It was very difficult to stay focused after the Olympics. It's just that, you know, that hangover from the Olympics a little bit, in terms of just you're on that high and then you have to work towards another one within, you know, a month or so. And listen, I've had the best time in this camp. I've had amazing people around me. You know, I've had the best brand, the best coaches, and you know, the best staff, and it's just been a whole whirlwind experience, but I knew I'd put together such a good camp that I was going to be proud of the performance regardless.
Where was the camp, and any workouts stand out as like a really killer session or anything?
Yeah, you know, it was in New Mexico. I did 4 weeks in San Moritz before the 2 Diamond Leagues and then the British Champs, and then I went back to Albuquerque for 4 weeks, and obviously Danny and the whole team was there. And I don't know, like a session I did a couple of weeks ago was, you know, 8x400 off of 90 seconds, around 54.8 average, something like that, with I think it was 4 minutes in between rep 4 and 5. But listen, everyone can do good workouts, but it's the stuff in between that I felt like I got right: the sleep, the nutrition, and those extra 1%. And I knew, you know, if I had the right stuff, the right spikes, the right brand, and the right mindset, I was going to come out with something I was proud of.
Had you ever had a chef or a sports psychologist before this year?
Sports psych, yes, before the Olympics, and I kept that in, and the chef was new in the last couple of months.
Is
but
that something like Danny suggested, or you on your own, or you can't
more my fiance. She sees my daily eating on the basis, and you know, she said, look, this, if you're going to do everything right, if you're going to tick every box, like, this is something that you could do better. And my nutritionist is so amazing, and he wrote every single, like, for the last kind of 6 weeks, it's every single thing that I've put in my mouth. And yeah, it's been a diligent camp. It's been like a fight camp, and so yeah, I had a really good time, but it also sucked really bad.
What was the hardest thing to cut out on the diet?
Chipotle, man. I just, you know, I'm not a fast food guy. I feel like I eat healthy. It's just my portion size was maybe a little bit too big, but you know, everything was down to the right ounce, and it takes a lot to bring a guy like me to be in race fitness, and you know, it was just every stone had to be turned.
And you talked to Danny between rounds?
Yes, yeah. We had a really good conference call yesterday, me, Julian, and Danny, our assistant coach, and obviously head coach of Brooks, and he wanted to make sure that he knew what was at risk if I was going to make certain moves, and he just needed to know that I was going to put everything at that last 100 and not to get emotional until that last